Good afternoon. The Philippine Statistics Authority says inflation rose to 6.1% in September. September's readout is higher than the 5.3% recorded in August. The PSA attributes the increase to higher year-on-year rise in food and non-alcoholic beverage prices. It adds that transport also contributed to the uptrend. The latest figure matches the upper end of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas' forecast range for the month, which was at 5.3% to 6.1%. This is also the 18th straight month that inflation breached the central bank's 2 to 4% target range. According to PSA, national average inflation from January to September 2023 averaged 6.6%. Northern Batanes remains under tropical cyclone wind signal number 3 as Typhoon Jenny slightly weakens and makes landfall over Pingthang country in Taiwan. According to Pag-asa's 11 a.m. bulletin, Itbayat Batanes is still under signal number 3. Signal number 2 is raised over the rest of Batanes, while signal number 1 is up over Babuyan Islands, the northern portion of mainland Cagayan, the northern portion of Apayao, and the northern portion of Ilocos Norte. The State Weather Bureau says it last spotted Jenny 180 kilometers northwest of Itbayat, Batanes, carrying maximum sustained winds of 155 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 190 kilometers per hour. Jenny continues to enhance the southwest monsoon or habagat, bringing light to moderate rains over the western portions of Luzon. Pag-asa says Jenny may exit the Philippine area of responsibility between Thursday afternoon and evening. Vice President Sara Duterte once again defends the use of confidential funds, this time saying that anyone who attacks the funds has, quote, insidious motivations. During the 122nd Police Service Anniversary of the Philippine National Police Regional Office 13 on Wednesday, Duterte says confidential funds play a role in security. She says anyone who attacks funds allocated for peace and order is naturally assumed to have insidious motivations, adding that such actions would jeopardize society and hinder progress. Duterte stresses that those who go against the confidential funds go against peace, thus becoming the, quote, enemy of the nation. This despite the fact that neither the Office of the Vice President or the Department of Education having security mandates. However, the Vice President touts the DepEd's membership in the Anti-Terrorist Council as well as her membership in the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict. While Duterte emphasizes the importance of confidential funds, she has previously said in the Senate that the OVP can live without the funds. Duterte's proposed secret funds have been the subject of heavy scrutiny among lawmakers, with the House of Representatives mulling to cut her confidential funds to bolster the Philippine Coast Guard's budget. The National Task Force West of Philippine Sea reports that another rotation and resupply mission to BRP Sierra Madre was successfully conducted despite the presence of and harassment by Chinese vessels. In a statement, the National Task Force West Philippine Sea says the routine resupply run to BRP Sierra Madre in Ayungin Shoal was conducted on Wednesday upon the instructions of President Bongbong Marcos. It adds that the two supply boats escorted by Philippine Coast Guard vessels successfully reached the grounded ship. This despite attempts by a significant number of China Coast Guard and maritime militia to block, harass, and interfere with the mission. The task force emphasizes that these resupply missions are a legitimate exercise of the administrative functions of the Philippine government over the West Philippine Sea. Since 1999, the BRP Sierra Madre has hosted a small contingent of military personnel, but resupply missions to BRP Sierra Madre have been hounded with harassment of the China Coast Guard through their use of military-grade lasers last February and water cannons in August. Police say Pura Luka Vega was arrested on Wednesday, months after their viral Ama Namin performance drew flack from religious groups and lawmakers. According to authorities, Pura Luka was arrested in Manila following charges of immoral doctrines, obscene publications and exhibitions, and indecent shows. The drag performer was served the warrant of arrest issued by Acting Presiding Judge Sarina Encarnacion sa Monte Villanueva of the Manila Regional Trial Court Branch 36. This despite filing a motion to reopen the investigation on the case. Drag Den Director Rod Singh says Pura Luka or their team did not receive any subpoena for the preliminary investigations in Manila. According to Manila Police, the arrest warrant stems from the criminal complaint filed by devotees of the Black Nazarene led by the Hijos del Nazareno based at the Quiapo Church. Pura Luka's camp is set to process their bail of 72,000 pesos for their provisional release from detention on Thursday. The hashtag Free Pura Luka Vega has become one of the trending topics on X after drag queens and LGBTQIA+ community members rallied behind Pura Luka. Aside from the case in Manila, Pura Luka is also facing another set of criminal charges before the Quezon City Prosecutor's Office, filed by the Christian churches under the Philippines for Jesus movement. Here's the latest roundup of today's top stories. Philippine inflation rises to 6.1% in September as food prices, transport costs soar. Vice President Sara Duterte defends use of confidential funds, says anyone against the funds have insidious motivations. And Gilas Pilipinas stuns China, sets a rematch with Jordan in the gold medal round of the Asian Games. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good afternoon.